What's up guys, Alex Corey here with cultivatedchange.com. Got a lot of good feedback on my last video, my 2 favorite back machines in a hurry. Because go figure, everyone's in a hurry. No one has an hour and a half spent in the gym. So on this one, just got back from the gym. I want to go over my 2 favorite push machines, exercise combinations in a hurry, coming up. Okay, this all hinges on machine availability because one of the machines in this is used for everything. So my 2 are the assisted dip, fantastic for everything, and the fly machine. Now, ideally you can get a warm-up in, like in the back one, stair stepper, jog, whatever you need to get limbs limber, blood flowing. If you don't have time for that, the wood chopper is my go-to for this. Much like the hanging leg raise is for back, wood chopper is fantastic core and arm adduction. So the same movements we're going to use for chest. If you want to throw a little rotation in there, like in this clip, for some transverse plane action, start low, come across your body. So make sure to keep your arms out. That way you don't get a ton of bicep or tricep involvement, and you warm your shoulders, your core, and your pecs up. That should be good if you can do that for 3 sets-ish. Now, the key here is people absolutely love to hog the fly machine. And I never recommend hogging the fly machine unless you need to hog the fly machine. So you might need to stay on that and do the first exercise, which is the cable fly, depending on your leverage. Because we all know that person who will do a superset or even a giant set with 3 different exercises and use one side of the fly machine and then stay close to it. And every time someone wants to go back to it or use their fly machine, they go back to doing it. It's infuriating. First true exercise, if you can get away with it, is the fly machine. Use this, just do a normal fly. I recommend doing whatever variation you have trouble hitting. For me, that's my upper chest, the clavicular fibers, sorry, right here. I have trouble hitting those, so I do a upper fly starting at the bottom, coming up, ending with my hand supinated like this. That seems to hit these fibers a little better, and really squeeze that. Work down, so I start high with like 15-20 with fairly low, making sure to feel that connection though, and then dropping the weight down to 10 and then to 6. If you are competing with people for the fly machine, immediately go into a shoulder raise after this. Grab one handle and do the shoulder raise. Because people will grab the fly machine immediately, and you need to get this in. I'd rather you do it now. We can make up everything else on the dip. The main exercise here, the weight moving one, is going to be the assisted dip. And this is the exact same machine I use for the assisted pull-up. Basically, start with half your body weight on the bars, or put the pin in half your body weight. And then, I specifically love this machine because your hands can be in a neutral grip. So, get yourself up there. You can go as far down on this as you feel comfortable. I love going as far down as I can because I really feel a stretch on my chest. If your shoulders are giving you any sort of issues, only go to where your elbows are at 90 and then come back up. The key when you push up, much like a push-up, is try not to focus on pushing yourself straight up so much as trying to squeeze your biceps together. So it's more of a picture doing a fly in your brain. Obviously you can't do a fly, but try to squeeze your biceps together, and that'll force your chest to contract and squeeze at the end. Vicious contraction, and I love it. the more parallel you are to the ground here, as you can see I'm doing, the more chest you're gonna have. The further back you lean, the more tricep you're gonna have. Now, depending on how busy the fly machine is, since the assisted dip machine is almost never busy, you can start on the assisted dip machine, and then if you're death staring someone on the fly machine, or if you see other people competing with you, the minute someone leaves the fly machine, grab the fly machine and get whatever muscles you're not feeling activated on the dip. Just leave the dip, because probably no one's going to use the dip. Use the fly, get however much you can in before you start getting a ton of death stares. Go back to the dip. So I want 3 sets of the dip. Start light, so start with 15 to 20 reps to get the motion down, get that anterior chain activated. So that is your triceps, your anterior deltoid, and your pecs. This is going to hit almost the exact same muscles as a bench would. So your lower and your middle pec. If you angle it right, you can get your clavicular, your upper pec in there too. But do 15 to 20 and then deload some of the assisted weight. 10 would be perfect. And if you want to end on 6, great. Now, I love this machine because you can just immediately change the angle. After you've done 3, what I like to do is put some of the assist back on, so go back to your normal weight maybe. Do as many as you can. Do a couple short of failure with your chest, and then come back up, brace yourself, lean back as straight as you can, and then do a tricep dip, meaning pin your shoulders back and lock your triceps out at the top with your body straight up and down, and you'll feel almost all the tension go into your tricep. If you lean back far enough, you can get the long head, that's the horseshoe, that third head of your tricep in there, and it will burn since you've been exhausting it the entire time. If you want, drop the weight and do a heavier set. You might not need to. You want to be resting somewhere, well, it depends on how much time you have, but 45 seconds minimum, minute and a half is probably ideal. Try to get 2 sets, maybe 3 with the tricep in there. It'll be pretty fatigued. The last one should be at burnout to failure. If you didn't steal the fly machine already, ideally you wait until the end of the workout to do your lateral raise. Cable machine lateral raise is superior just because you have constant tension. I'm leaning here just so the weight never actually or rather my shoulder never gets to relax. There's always tension on it because it's not at your side. You're holding it there, and then just make sure you don't need to go any higher than parallel, and just rep it out. Low weight, high rep. We're not trying to move any real weight here. We're trying to feel tension the entire time until our shoulders are dead. That's it, guys. That's my perfect, in a hurry, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes workout. It does about as much for me as an hour and a half. Obviously you can't hit everything, but it's pretty close. The only thing we're missing is our main medial head of the shoulder, just exhausting that, but we got everything else. If you want to see more of these, feel free to like and subscribe the channel and the video. Until then, build your community, build your resilience. See you soon.